Can McCaffrey do it again? It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This will be fielded at the 17. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Jackson. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
That was an read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Let's go.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 8 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike, I don't think you got it, son. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
On 1st down, Darnold. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Darnold. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And it's caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Second quarter action now for Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they go to work on a first and goal. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Far down.
On the carry, it's Bawden. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Strip the ball.
On second down, Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. His first carry of their second drive. Pretty solid, and of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Throwing is Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. For a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson, open man, Arcega-Whiteside. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. Jackson now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. And now a carry here for their fullback. And the ball is knocked out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's got room. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. The offense was in a tough spot, and opportunistic defense takes advantage. Get the turnover, they get the touchdown too.
I know this is going to sound strange, but oftentimes defenses call for this type of a play in this situation. Offense is pinned back near their own goal line. They tell them, be aggressive, go for the football, create a score. That's exactly what they did.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll... Set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
We're going to sign. Mike 51. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Shift.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The throw over the middle, taken in. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 23. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. On first down, this is McCaffrey. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Jackson. On the move to his left. He's going to take off with it. The 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Now it's Jackson, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. He's at the 50. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Crunch time, defense.
On first and 10, Darnold to Michel on the screen. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Darnold. That's out to his running back, Michel.
Keep going, no, keep going.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's Jackson to throw. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 34. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams now
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Trey Flowers, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Jackson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this one is right down the middle. And the lead. Stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Darnold. Complete to Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, Michel. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happened. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. The Eagles on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Jackson from the shotgun. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Jackson. Out to his left. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Here's Jackson. Oh, no, lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him. Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Caught by Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Off the draw, here's Michel. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson being chased out left.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And his kick is good. And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 9. Just over a minute 40 to play. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete here.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 39. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we made one more.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as he'll go for 2. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agree.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Another try after the first down sack. Darnold. Fletcher Cox, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Adam Thielen His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
That's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Well, without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's